Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Low-Key J here, and this is gonna be my first YouTube video. I'm really not sure what I want to do with this channel. I'm probably gonna do a lot with it. I might do some like hip-hop stuff. I'm gonna do a lot of drug-related stuff. I'm gonna do some story times like this video is, but I'm really not sure like what lane I'm trying to find with this YouTube thing. So I guess we'll just like eventually fall into it and we'll just go from there. But in this video here, I'm gonna be telling a story about the time that I took Phenibut and cocaine together, which just catapulted me into God mode. So let's just get into it. So it was just an ordinary weekend. I was chilling at my house and had some plans to go to the beach boardwalk with two of my friends. So I took some Phenibut, and for you guys who don't know what Phenibut is, I will be doing a breakdown video of Phenibut, but I'm gonna do a quick overview of it right now. It's pretty much a nootropic drug, and a nootropic drug is a drug that improves memory and cognitive function. It works similar to alcohol, except that it acts on the GABA B receptors instead of the GABA A receptors. It takes away any social anxiety you may have, similar to alcohol, but without the loss of motor function and the complete and utter disinhibition that alcohol brings along. It is in a drug class called gabapentinoids. It's kind of a niche drug, really obscure drug. It's not really known about, which is obviously why I'm giving the explanation of it. I don't know if a lot of people know what it is. So it's a pretty good drug overall. I mean, it's really like subtle. You can't really feel it. It's amazing for job interviews and social events. It's pretty much good for any time you need to be the best version of yourself, but still need to be level-headed and in control of your mind and body. Let's get back to the story. So I took about 2 to 5 grams of some Phenibut and was just chilling at the house when I got the idea to get some cocaine, and that idea would often pop into my head a lot, because at this point in my life I was essentially what most would classify as a cocaine addict, or at the very least a cocaine abuser. So it wasn't some random shit for it to pop in my line like, oh, let's just get some cocaine. Like, no, this was daily predictable shit. So I hit up the plug who had given me some pretty shit cocaine one time. I do have another story that's gonna come out where I had some really shit cocaine from this plug and I got pulled over by the cops while I was high on it. But the coke that this plug gave me at this point wasn't super shit. It wasn't up to par with some of the other plugs stuff that I got, but it wasn't super shit. Like, it was some decent shit. I definitely felt something, and it gave me that euphoria and all that stuff. And with the Phenibut, I mean, they just both potentiate each other. They synergized very well, and we'll get into that. So anyways, the plugs comes through and drops off some coke to me. I think I got about 1.5 to 2 grams of the shit before he came, and before I could even do any, I had to go use the bathroom. I had to go take a number 2. I had to do a little dookie, because that's what would happen to me every time I was going to cop coke or some sort of stimulant. I would have the need to go do a number 2, like every single time without fail, even if I didn't have to do a number 2 previously. Like, once I knew the plug was coming over, I had to go take a number 2. Like, I guess I just got excited or something. It was just the anticipation was too much. It just started like stimulating some bowel movement and shit. I don't know, like, does that ever happen to any of you guys? Like, because that happens to me a lot. So let me know if that happens to you, where it's like every time you're copping like some sort of stimulant, or especially usually cocaine, you gotta go do a number 2 real quick. I don't know what it is. Like I said, it must be the adrenaline or the anticipation or something, but every single time I always gotta use the bathroom. So anyways, once I grab the blow, I do the proper procedure, cutting up the lines, smashing it, and then snorting it up into my fucking nose. And I just immediately head to the bathroom. I start lining up and snorting. I start off with a small line, see how I feel, and then 15 minutes later, I'm back in the bathroom again, this time doing 2 lines back to back once I felt what that small line felt like. And once the proper procedure is complete, I hand over the blow to my friend Jake so that he can complete the proper procedure for himself. And I'm just going to refer to line chopping and snorting as proper procedure for the rest of this video. And by the time he completes his procedure, my other friend Nathan is outside waiting for us, ready to get to that goddamn beach. So me and Jake do the proper procedure a few times while we're in Nathan's whip. Nathan doesn't do any drugs, so he's not the biggest fan of us doing it in his car, but he lets us do it anyway. And while in the car, I'm known as the line man, the line chopper, which obviously means I just cut up all the lines for for me and Jake. I was a professional line chopper, so it was only right. I mean, I always used to say that if any celebrity needed a line chopper, then I'm the one for you. I have an extensive resume related to the subject, and I can provide limitless examples of my chopping skills through photos or videos. I remember I heard that Snoop Dogg had a person that he hired for the sole purpose of rolling blunts for him. So if any celebrities need coke and they need a line chopper, or any celebrities do coke and they need a line chopper, then like hit me up for real. Like I am your guy. Like I'm a beast when it comes to that shit. I pride myself on that shit. I'm the best line chopper there fucking is. So hit me up. Got a low price for you. You know, I'll do it for you. And yeah. So as we are cruising in the whip, I am really starting to feel everything. The Phenibut is kicking in at this point. It does have a very long onset. It takes a long time to fucking kick in. And the cocaine was doing its job on my brain. Both of them in conjunction just had me feeling more confident than ever. I mean, Phenibut already increases confidence on its own, and coke does the same. So both of them at the same time really just had me on another level. I was feeling hype as fuck. I was vibing to the music in the car and really feeling it. I was just having a good ass time. We finally arrive at the beach boardwalk. Before we get out the car, Jake and I do some more lines. We know that once we leave the car, we have to go back to it every time to do some more because there was no public restrooms. So therefore, I complete the proper procedure with 2 medium-sized lines and Jake with his own medium-sized line. Jake did not have as much of a tolerance as me, so I gave him a little bit less, and we are good to go. So we hop out the car and start walking from the parking lot to the boardwalk. And as we were walking, Nathan was fucking around with me and Jake, kind of trolling us and roasting us a little bit, saying that we were too pussy to cold approach any woman. This was, obviously a main focus for us. I mean, I think it's a main focus for any young man who goes anywhere. Like, guys know that we are always on the lookout for women. We're always scouting. And that's part of the reason we go to places, because of the potential women that will be at the location. You shouldn't do this anymore. I don't try to do this anymore. Don't go to the fucking mall and be like, oh, I'm going to the mall just because there's women there. Don't go to the club. Oh, I'm going to the club because there's women there. Just go there just to have fun. Like, fuck the women, for real. Don't go places with that mindset like, oh, I'm going there for the girls. Do not do that, okay? Because I guarantee you most of the time girls don't fucking do that either, and it's just not a good mindset to have. Makes you look thirsty, makes you look like a little like horn dog and all that shit. So yeah, but anyways, at this point, we was scouting. So yeah, Nathan was just roasting us for being too scared to cold approach women, but I just knew in my mind that he was just projecting his fear onto us. I mean, Nathan would do this shit all the time, just roast us for something that he was scared to do and he never did. Like when sober, I usually just ignore him and not saying anything, but with the Phenibut and cocaine in my system, I mean, it forbade me from doing so. Like, I told him off. I called out his hypocrisy. I was like, Negro, shut the fuck up. You the actual one who's too pussy to approach. You say this shit all the time, but we ain't never seen you approach a bitch. And the convo topic then moves on to just Jake and Nathan bantering about some stupid little shit. They were trying to claim that one of them had the better drip and were kind of roasting each other's fits. So, and, I had an idea in my mind. I had an idea in my mind once they were saying that. I was like, you know what? Like, let's ask the women and see whose drip really is better. So, as they are bantering near me, I spot 2 women walking towards us. So, one of them is wearing a black bottom and the other a red bottom. They're walking towards us and then turn the corner to our right. I definitely liked what I saw as far as the chick in the red. I mean, she was definitely doing that, like that ass upkeep, you know what I mean? That butt keep. This is the moment that night when I entered what I like to really call like God mode, because I acted fast, and usually I do not cold approach women, guys. Yes, I am a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I just genuinely do not do this shit. So this was like out of character for me a little bit, but Phenibut and cocaine made it my fucking character to do this. So, I liked what I saw, so I acted fast and just pounced on the opportunity. We turned the corner to the right, and I call out to the girl, like I said, she was wearing like a little red skirt or some shit like that, red bottom. So I literally am walking up behind her. All 3 of us are walking up behind these 2 girls, and then I just call out to the girl. I'm like, yo, red. And she stops walking and turns around to see me walking up to her and her friend. And Jake and Nathan are just shocked as to what is happening. Like, this is something that we never do like I said, I never cold approach girls, and neither do they. So they walk with me to the girls though. And once we get close enough to them to have a conversation, I say to the girls, hey, we need help with something. Can both of you guys rate my friend's drip here out of 10 and kind of give like a little comparison, rate whose drip is better. You know, we are trying to figure out here who has the better fit. So they give their rating for both of them. I think Nathan gets a rating in the 6 or 7 range, and Jake gets a rating in the 8 range. I remember the girl in black rated Jake in 8. And after their rating, Jake asked the girls to rate my drip. And I did not expect him to do this, but it definitely worked out in my favor. Maybe he peeped some signs that one of the girls was like eyeballing me or something, or showing some interest in me, because, you know, this worked out really good in my favor. So the girl in the red gave me a rating of a 9, and the girl in the black rated me, I think, an 8 or a 7. Now, when the girl in the red rated me a 9, she gave me this like sexy ass look that definitely indicated sexual interest. I mean, I was getting some IOIs, indicators of interest, and I was getting some choosing signals, you know what I'm saying? So this is when I realized that the girls weren't rating our drip in their heads, because the outfit I had on was nothing crazy, guys. I mean, it was definitely not a fit that was worth a rating of a 9 on the drip scale. I mean, I literally had on a dress shirt with, granted, it did have a cool ass design, but it was just a dress shirt, some jeans, and some black Air Force Nikes. Like, nothing worthy of a 9 rating at all. Like, it was not crazy, bro. But this girl and her friend here were clearly very attracted to the confidence that I was showing, like attracted to the fact that I had the balls to cold approach them in public. And little did they know that those weren't actually my balls. Those were the balls of fucking Phenibut and Cocaine. So after the girls gave me their rating, we all start having a group conversation for a few minutes. You know, we just cover the formalities and stuff. We get to know where the girls are from and stuff like that. The girl in red was actually living in the city that I'm from and would often frequent. So I grabbed the girl in red Snapchat, and Jake gets the girl in black Snapchat. I mean, Nathan was just left for loneliness, unfortunately. I'm sorry, nigga, but hey, what you gonna do? I mean, speak up, like, get in on that. So yeah, so Nathan, you know, Jake got the other girl, or the red girl's friend Snapchat, and then I got the girl in red Snapchat, and we part ways with the females and head on over to the arcade. With how expensive Cocaine, I was left with not a lot of money to blow at the arcade, but fortunately Nathan came in clutch. He loaded up an arcade card for us. We start playing a bunch of competitive games, basketball, shooting games, air hockey, etc. I'm just beasting at every game. Like, I play them on the regular. Like I had a lot of practice with this shit. I mean, I was doing fucking good. I was killing all them niggas on that shit. I was going crazy. And the Phenibut and Cocaine was just giving me this intense focus where I can just lock in completely on whatever game I'm playing, while at the same time not worrying about how well I'm performing. And no performance anxiety. I don't have to try hard or try to put in effort. It almost came naturally for me to be good at the game. Jake and Nathan end up playing a shooting game that only has 2 players at a time, so I head on over to the air hockey table. And over at the air hockey table, I spot an attractive girl who just got done playing a game. So I go over to her and ask her if she wants to play a game of air hockey with me. And she accepts the invitation. And normally I wouldn't have done this sort of thing sober. I just go up to her and ask. I just, like, with the Phenibut and Cocaine, I mean, I just went up to her and asked her so effortlessly and seamlessly, with no hiccup or hesitation, with no awkwardness. I'm just in a flow state, and I treat the girl like we already know each other and have been dating for a while. And just as we were playing air hockey, we taunt each other like in a flirtatious manner. I beat her ass 3-7, and then I grab her Snapchat after the victory. So that's 2 Snapchats in one day right there, in probably like within an hour. So after I, destroy that girl in air hockey, I meet back up with my 2 friends, and we decide to head back to the car to do some more blow before we head into that carnival, because we was gonna go on some carnival rides, and we need to be geeked up for that shit. So it took about 5 to 10 minutes to get back to the parking lot. We hop in my friend's car and just start the proper procedure for both Jake and me. We complete the proper procedure and start making our way back to the carnival. I'm feeling like so geeked at this point. I mean, just sparklers of confidence throughout my brain. I couldn't possibly be melancholic at this point. It was just impossible to not be ecstatic and euphoric. I was enjoying myself so much, and Jake was too. Jake did not do obviously like coke as often as me did, so like when he did do coke, I mean, he would get rocked, and we was both about to enjoy ourselves even more on this one carnival ride. I'm gonna try my best to describe this ride to you guys. You guys know like the Newton's Cradle, right? The things with the metal ball and it swings back and forth. Well, this ride is pretty much that, but it would swing a full 360 degrees, and the ride just felt so much more thrilling while on coke. I mean, you already get dopamine and adrenaline release from the ride itself. Combine that with the cocaine dopamine and adrenaline release, and you're in dopamine and adrenaline heaven. I mean, the ride was so exhilarating, and after the ride was over, we go back to the car once again to do the proper procedure, and then we headed back towards the arcade. And on our way there, I saw two girls who piqued my interest, so I ran up to them, leaving behind Jake and Nathan. I started talking to the girls, walking with them, throwing in some flirts here and there, but these girls were just not fucking with the kids. So, you know, once I noticed their disinterest, I left them. Just kind of as I was leaving, I said to them, you know, y'all girls are no fun. And even though I got rejected, the Phenibut and cocaine had my confidence unshaken. I was like, you know what, like, fuck y'all girls then. Like, you're missing out like on me. Like, I'm a beast over here. I'm the one who's like the fun one here, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know what you're missing out on. So if you want to reject me, I mean, hey, that's your prerogative, but you're definitely making a bad decision, and you'll probably regret it if you really knew who I was. So yeah, so I headed back over to Jake and Nathan, and we just all started walking along the beach, sandy shoes and all. Probably walked along the beach for like 10 minutes before we decided to leave. It was getting pretty late at night. Less and less people were walking throughout the pier and boardwalk, and my brother and I wanted to do some more blow, so of course that took priority over everything. I mean, we made our way back to the car, hopped in, and just completed the procedure. It was like the last of the blow that we had, so I made sure to chop it up extra fine, and we did some big ass lines. Pro tip for y'all, if you're doing some blow, always save some blow so you can do a big ass line towards the end of the session. You never want to end the skiing session with just a bump or a small ass line. It will feel underwhelming, and you will definitely be disappointed and feel more inclined to buy some more. And well, you know, with coke you always feel inclined to buy more, but if you go out with a bang for your last line, then you'll feel slightly less inclined for sure. You know, like it will be like a good ending to the session. So yeah, just have a big ass line at the end of your session, and it will make it feel like a little less sucky. So after the procedure was over and done, we all started making our way back home. In the car, I just really tried my best to enjoy and appreciate my last line as much as I could by vibing to the music extra hard. I was trying to pretend that like I was in the music video and I was the artist himself. And then once I got home, the come down was upon me. It absolutely sucked, but I got through it with some Benadryl, and I was finally able to fall asleep. That's the end of the story, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This cocaine and Phenibut combo was fucking insane. I felt so good and was a social god. My charisma was off the charts. My confidence was off the chart. My riz was off the charts. I was doing things that I would never normally do due to fear. I mean, the synergy of this combo was amazing. Would definitely recommend it if you guys haven't tried it. If you are actively doing drugs, then I recommend it. Obviously, if you have not tried these drugs before, then I would not advise you to do it. Like, definitely don't do it. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's the story. I got another story for you. I'll be uploading soon. I'll catch you guys later. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Turn on post notifications. And yeah, I'll just see you guys in my next video. Peace.